Imagine walking into a room with hundreds, even thousands of people. The spotlight is on you. The energy in the room is electric. And every single person in that room is hanging on to every word. Today I'm going to share with you powerful tips on how to properly articulate yourself and how to become a better public speaker. This is the power of a TED Talk. But what makes them so memorable and so engaging? This video is for anybody who wants to communicate better and become a better public speaker. You do not have to talk in big events like a TED Talk, but this can help you in your everyday life. I'm going to be sharing the 3 pillars of a great TED Talk. You need to start implementing emotion. And this means telling personal stories that get other people to engage their emotions, sadness, happiness. There has to be some sort of an obstacle. It has to be emotionally engaging for the person to connect. Next pillar is novelty. Does your product or talk or whatever you want to speak about offer something new, fresh, exciting that keeps people engaged? Do you research and use new insights and data and information to compile your presentation? The last pillar is to be memorable. The best talks and speeches stick with you because they are visual, clear, and simple. Think about that time that Bill Gates released mosquitoes during his talk about malaria. Use props, stories, and anything to engage people. Learn to use metaphors, anything that can get the person to remember. If you're talking about teamwork, use a rope to describe how every single person makes an impact and demonstrate how much strength can be used if everybody helps. You have to share your failure and your mistakes because this makes you more relatable and you can connect with other people who have gone through the same thing as you. You need to highlight a pivotal moment in that story, the time when everything changed, when you realized something, when you learned your lesson. You need to add sensory details to your story, whether that's something you smelled, you heard, you touched, anything of that sort. Be sure to use that in your personal story, as well as adding humor to build a more authentic connection. Relate your story back to your audience and what can they learn from it? How can they take the lesson that you've provided them and adapt it in their own life? What is in it for the audience? Try to define your big idea in one sentence. Come off more simple, clear for everybody to remember and completely understand what you want to say. Start with a question to pique curiosity within the audience. Think about how you present yourself to other people. Do you cross your arms and seem angry, or do you have a more open, positive, friendly body language? Use and connect to the space around you. Do not be afraid to walk around the stage or to take up the space around you. Use your hands and make eye contact with people. Do not be afraid to own your space or to own your talk, your conversation. Try to create a jaw-dropping moment within your conversation and think, what might you say to get the other person in complete awe? Passion is another non-negotiable when it comes to these public speakings, because if you're not passionate about what you're saying or excited or curious or even enthusiastic, how do you expect the audience to feel? People can feel your energy, so you have to be the example and give off that energy first. Even the best speakers on earth get nervous and feel anxiety and get worried about making a big mistake. But the difference is the good speakers know how to channel their nervous energy and turn it into curiosity, enthusiasm, passion when they speak. Practice, 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 because repetition gets you closer to the goal. Try to visualize success, and this means close your eyes, visualize how you want the audience to react. Do you want them to become happy, smile? Do you want them to reflect on what you said? How do you want the audience to feel? Find your voice. Are you naturally funny? Are you naturally engaging, humorous, friendly with other people? Experiment with your delivery, how you want your talk to come out to other people. Embrace your flaws and don't forget to ask for feedback and help from your closest friends who can tell you in a nice way what works and what doesn't. Leave your audience with a lesson and keep them wanting more. Maybe you can also cultivate a signature move. Maybe it's a catchphrase that you say. Maybe it's a metaphor that keeps people remembering what you talked about. So remember to create a sensory journey. If it was a rainy day, don't forget to talk about the sound of the raindrops falling, or talk about the smell of the wet earth, or speak about how the cold air felt on your skin. Use the 90-second rule. This means that you have 90 seconds to engage and hook the audience. Every great idea sticks to you like a Velcro when you mix facts and emotions. So don't forget to engage your emotions. Instead of saying 70% of people lack the access to clean water, start by saying how a child has to walk 6 miles to access some water. People are inspired by who they want to become and not who they are right now. Leave a gift with your audience. Leave them with something tangible that they can take home with themselves, that they can remember, whether it's a lesson, a physical present or gift, or something that is truly valuable for them. Even if you leave them with a challenge to complete when they go home, or even if you leave them with a question that gets them thinking and remembering your speech.